Here's Adam Carolla on the day of the election talking to Gavin Newsom.
Governor, why did you shut the beaches in California during COVID?
Yeah, I think we all were working on information at the time. We had no basis of deeply understanding the virus. I think
even that's not a good enough answer, because it suggests that in the absence of information, the tendency is towards authoritarianism rather than liberty. And I would say that liberty is a principle that seems pretty significant in the United States history, constitution, self-image, general rhetoric, understanding, personal mythology. On Independence Day, someone whose instinct is control, authority. Does that seem like a viable president to you? Let me know. It's just a question.
So you didn't know anything, so why'd you shut the beaches?
States like Florida.
If you didn't know anything, why'd you shut the beaches?
Well, we didn't know. Yeah, because people were concerned early in the pandemic. Information was coming out as it relates to how it was transferred, the disease, and people were cautious, trying to keep people alive. And I should say this,
so
Adam,
you didn't let them go in the sunshine and get vitamin
California
D
outperformed.
And exercise, so you shut the beaches. Okay. And you arrested a guy who was paddleboarding in the bay.
On health, wealth, and
he arrested a guy that was paddleboarding in the bay. I like how he talks, and I like it that sort of Gavin Newsom might be a David Hasselhoff-style figure that bay watches and interjects in sort of crime that's near the seashore. Hey, you're paddleboarding in the bay. I gotta shut this shit down. For all we know, something could be happening. I want to just enjoy with you this next clip. I saw it for the first time because I didn't know much about Adam Carolla other than he's a kind of early adopter and pioneer in the online space, and in particular the podcast space. And I was really astonished to see how he deals with Adam Carolla in this conversation. It's just like watching someone, like his mind must work very quickly. Watch how he handles this.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
And well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Well, why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is in check cashing places.
But I want to know why those groups, why those two groups don't have access.
Well, a lot of it just happens to be that. We can talk about.
Flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically
Folks are making
flawed.
Their word. Hardly, not absolutely.
But okay, do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have. A lot of whites have these problems.
Oh,
but
so that's not just black and Hispanic.
No, but
why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be the magnitude.
That's the way God planned it?
Not at all.
Well, what happened to them?
There are a lot of issues, and that the communities are struggling. A lot of new immigrants.
Struggling?
A lot of different reasons. Lack of opportunity.
Have been here. Blacks have been here longer than we've been here.
Well, we can surmise.
What about Asians? They were put in internment camps.
Yeah, in fact, it all initiated out of San Francisco.
All right.
The Chinese Exclusion Act came out of progressive San Francisco.
Are they the check cashing
places? A lot of Asians certainly do.
Oh, so why don't you conclude them?
The only reason why is the magnitude.
There's
the problem,
so many more.
The magnitude in percentage.
But there's no way to figure out how that happened.
Africa. We could talk about it. You know what I'm dealing with? I don't want to have a sociological debate.
Sure, why would you?
No, here's why.
Why would you want to do that? Because the person from the Times wouldn't write good things about you if you did that.
No, that's not the case, because I want to deal with reality. No.
You want to deal with reality.
I want to deal with the reality of people that are struggling, people are suffering. I want to deal with the problems in a pragmatic way.
Why are they struggling and suffering?
I don't want an idea. We can hold hands and surmise about all these underlying reasons.
I don't want to do that. I want to know why they're struggling. Why are they struggling?
A lot of folks are struggling because they can't find jobs.
Why blacks and
because
Hispanics?
They're working.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all socioeconomic.
Okay, so everybody's
struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks.
The face of welfare is not an African American family.
So it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them.
Caucasian. It's a lot of folks
we're all
in society.
Struggling.
A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
I love the way that Adam Carolla closes Gavin Newsom down, and it exposes something that's pretty common these days, a kind of deracinated rhetoric that's not attached to virtue, principle, or anything, that's just a kind of untethered set of pledges and ideas that operate as just a kind of platform upon which to walk to power. If there is going to be a replacement for Joe Biden, Adam Carolla should conduct the debate. If it's going to be Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, I want to see that debate moderated by Adam Carolla. But what does it matter, really? Can you see that there's a route to power for the Democrat Party after the exposure of this ineptitude? And do you feel that a second Trump presidency is going to meaningfully change America? Is it going to change the world for you? I suppose what you probably feel is that it will mean a withdrawal from the Ukraine-Russia conflict. It might mean significant change to the deep state agencies. It might mean less censorship. I wonder what the hysteria of the Democrat Party establishment is all about after there's already been a term of Trump. And as far as I can tell, whilst I appreciate there were no significant wars, was it that different?
Hey, this is exciting. We've got a great partner today. It's Rumble. But beyond Rumble, it's Rumble's latest venture. Let me ask you first, are you a Sleepy Joe type character with zero cognitive performance, struggling to muster focus and brain power for basic things like running the United States of America? You've got to stop drinking woke liberal coffee that hates you and your way of life and start your day by drinking Rumble's very own 1775 coffee. This is going to be the best tasting coffee you've ever had. Seriously good, ethically sourced from a family farm in the high altitude mountains of Bolivia. Not in the Bolivian lowlands run not by a family but by a single man still living with a pet. No! Instead of waking up and drinking your big corporation owned woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with, try Rumble's 1775 revolutionary coffee. Support freedom of speech. Build a parallel economy that actually values you and loves you. My favourite? It's dark, of course. I've always found the lure of the dark irresistible. I'm sorry, how can I stay mad at you? You're just going to have to wait over there for a little while. Level up your morning routine with a 1775 coffee. Sleep all night knowing your hard-earned dollary dues are going towards supporting freedom-loving creators like me on Rumble. Visit 1775coffee.com now, pick up your first bag, use the code BRAND to save 10% on your first order. Oh, come on. Why choose, you know? Okay, back to the content.
And will it be that different tomorrow morning when we wake up under...
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.